Welcome to Innerji, Tarot Crystals, Astrology, and all things metaphysical. Hi, I'm Lesley, the Metaphysical Crone. And I'm more than a little bit excited today because, as you might see from the screen, I have received an advanced copy of Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. And so I'm going to do an unboxing and flip through so that you can see all of the cards in their glory. So here is the box. Now, if you already have Seasons of the Witch Samhain edition, I think you're going to love this one. So let's turn the camera around and get to the gold, or in this case, should I say, the glittery green. So as mentioned, if you already have the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, you're going to love the new Yule Oracle. So remember, if you haven't seen this one before, I'll give you a quick look before we get to the new one. So it comes with a substantial book, and with the Samhain edition, you have the beautiful red gilding. And of course, this is all about the Sabbath of Samhain. So if you don't have this one, I suggest you do a little bit of research and have a look for this one, because this is going to be the first of many, I think. So let's have a look at this pre-release edition. Now, my understanding is that it's going to be released on the 1st of September, but I was blessed to have been sent a pre-release copy. So as usual, anything by Rockpool Publishing always comes in good, sturdy boxes. It's a two-fold box. And as you can see, I've actually already taken the wrapping off. I couldn't wait, but I actually haven't looked through the cards yet. I thought I would bypass the whole cutting open the envelope and getting it out so that we can get straight to it. So it is by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz and illustrated by, is it Giada or Giada Rose? And there's just a little preview. And even on the box, you've got that little bit of, yes, there it is, the reveal, green gilding for this deck. So let's open up the box, and we have a lovely inside cover. Just as with the Samhain edition, it comes with a very substantial booklet, beautifully published and printed. A little bit about the authors. The artwork in here is really, really lovely as well. It shows you some spreads, including a Christmas cross tarot spread. If you prefer Christmas to Yule, you can do a 3-card spread, so it can be like a past, present, future. There's also the Interview Your Deck spread. A little bit on how to use the cards. Isn't the artwork gorgeous? And then, oh, look at this. That's beautiful, quite old worldy, isn't it? And then, of course, there is information on each of the cards. So this one is Hearth, and the key words are warmth, light, fire, and energy. And the affirmation is, may your warmth take in the gazing flame, upon the shivers they melt away. Beautiful. And then each card has its own interpretation. So for Hearth, it says, come dear and sit by the fire. Hearth comes to a reading when you are cold, rigid, or perhaps seeing things only from a logical perspective. You are being guided to warm your soul and to experience life from the heart. Your emotions don't care about logic or reason. The heart feels what it feels. And in this situation, your heart is wiser than your mind. Listen to the inner knowing to guide you. You may feel conflicted. Your mind might be telling you to be more practical, more responsible, or be more sensible. This is your ego operating from a place of fear. Your soul knows what you need now, and it is letting you know through what you feel. Allow this wisdom to be heard, and that all will be well. Beautifully written. Absolutely beautifully written. And as you can see, it is a well-produced. Dare I call it a little white book? I don't think so. I think it's more like a mini companion book. Now let's look at the cards themselves. So let's take them out. And again, beautiful inside to the box. And I'm just going to take out the rock pool. Oh, they've got an app store, so you can download a free app. So some of their Oracle decks, you can actually download digital versions of them to access through their app. Great idea. So let's just take this off and have a little look. There we go. So these are the backs. What I like about the backs is they are reversible, although with these, I wouldn't read these reversed as I do a tarot deck, but it's just interesting to see that if you are into doing reversals for oracles, they are reversible backs. And of course, as was revealed on the side of the box, that beautiful green gilding. So much the energy of Yule. Beautiful. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards. So again, as with all rock pool decks, they are more on the glossy side, but the card stock is quite substantial. But you know, it's bendable enough that if you're into riffle shuffling, you could do that. I personally don't like riffle shuffling. And the artwork is incredible. So here we have Bear medicine. A very strong, earthy bear. Oh, with the spiral. I love this candle magic. Oh, I have to read the affirmation on this one. Finger the spine and caress thy lips, like the spell spilling from your grip. Beautiful. A little bit of cardinal medicine with the birds. Oh wow, look at this for ceremony. Beautiful. And yes, this deck so far is giving me the chills, but in a good way. The cold moon of winter. Contemplation. And you know, winter and that Yule period is a time for inner contemplation, for going within, being more internalized rather than being out and doing so much. The crone. I always love anything connected with the crone because I've just moved into what I call my crone years, hence calling myself the Metaphysical Crone. And I like how that they have shown her life's experience on her face. And those eyes, you could lose yourself in those eyes. The darkest hour, what's the saying? The darkest hour is always the darkest before the dawn. And winter is the time of the dark period of the year. We've just gone through the winter solstice on the 21st of June. Duff medicine. Oh, look at this, falling in love. And then we have family. And I like this take on Father Christmas. I'm going to read this one to you. How did I get here? Lost perhaps? No worries at all. Gather yourself and clear the frost, for the good still lives in you, dear. Feasting. And certainly Yule is a time for feasting. I do really like the colouring that they've used, because here in Australia, obviously, you know, there are only certain parts of Australia where we get like the wintry snow of the Northern Hemisphere. So I like the fact that not everything is about snow. I mean, this could represent a winter here in Australia. Go to the forest. An airborne version of skiing, perhaps? No, I'm only kidding. Frost. I used to live in Canberra, so yes, I'm very, very well acclimatised to frosts. And of course, growing up in Scotland as a little girl, I was definitely used to snowy Christmases, snowy Yule time, gatherings. Oh wow, look at this. Gratitude. Beautiful. And of course, the one I read out from the companion book, the hearth being the heart of the home. Finding the light in the dark. That's what this card says to me without even reading it. Merriment. Look at the candles as crowns on their heads. Mistletoe. Beautiful. Included Mother Mary in this deck. Offerings. You know, as well as for divination, I could see how I would use some of these cards on my altar to remind me of the season or to remind me of gratitude. I can see these cards being used as part of my rituals, as I have with the Samhain cards. That's how I've used the Samhain cards a lot. I use them in my own personal rituals for gridding with crystals. And I feel I could do the same thing with this deck around the period of Yule and, you know, going through winter. Perseverance. Poinsettias. Now, I like to use poinsettias here in Australia around Yule time because we have obviously Christmas or Yule in summer. Then it makes sense for me. I like to have some potted poinsettias. Reindeer medicine. Beautiful. Look at the antlers surrounding the, I'm not sure if that's the moon or the earth there, but stunning. In winter, Yule can be a time of remembrance in the dark times. And I don't mean dark times as in bad or negative times, but, you know, in the dark of the night. Ringing the bells. Self-care. Silent Night. Now, of course, a lot of people might think of the Christmas song Silent Night, but when I see this, I think it's going into the silence. In fact, I'll read this one out. If by night the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence be deafening, there would be sound, nothing at all nothing would sound. To me, this would be a card to meditate on, about going deep into the silence in meditation. Snow. Here we have the solstice. Squirrel medicine. That is so cute. The star. What I like about the deck, like the Samhain one, there is an affirmation or a saying with every card, and each one is well thought out and applies to the artwork of the card, this one being storm. Telling stories. You know, traditionally winter was a time where you would sit around the hearth and tell stories before the days of social media, the internet, even before radio. Oh, I love this. Tranquility. Oh, turning inward. This is a card I think I would use as a focal point quite a lot as I get to know the deck. And the unknown. It almost looks like an obsidian scrying mirror in a way. I'll just show you mine. It's just over here. So that's my obsidian scrying mirror. And that's what that reminds me of on that card. Scrying, going into the unknown. The wise men. The wreath. And finally, the Yule log. I think this is going to be a very interesting deck to work with during the winter season. I'm just having a little bit of a shuffle, and it's very easy to shuffle. There's no real sticking. The card, now I've got pretty small hands, so the card size is still fine for me to get a good grasp and to shuffle. And so I might just finish up by just shuffling and pulling a card and see what the end message is for this show and tell unboxing. Let's see what we've got. Contemplation. And it says, it breathes in the stillness of all that is, exhaling all that isn't. Coming from the ends of the starts and the highest of the lows, here I gasp for the answers to unfold. So that's a lovely message to finish on with this deck, because this is a deck that I will want to spend some time contemplating, working with, learning to divine with, learning how I will use it in my rituals moving forward. And I will be really interested to see how it is combining it with the Samhain deck as well. I do hope you've enjoyed this unboxing of Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. It's published by Rockpool Publishing. My first impression of it is I think I'm going to love it just as much as I do the Samhain deck. And of course, this is going to be released to the public from the 1st of September. Until next time, have a blessed week.